Hey y'all, I'm sitting here working on this door, and I thought, well, y'all didn't want to see, y'all don't want to see a bunch of sand and stuff like that, or maybe you did. Last video I said y'all didn't, but I did do some more sanding. I did do some more sanding on the top. I still got a few spots left. I got a high spot right here in the center that I don't like, so I got it marked out, and I'm going to do that. But right now I was working on getting the doors prep to get them welded. So I'm falling behind. I said I was going to do this welding the other day, and my back hurt so bad trying to pick the door up, and it's part of it. I do got the door down here on the ground. You can kind of see it. I was thinking about taking the glass out, and then I got to thinking, well, it would have been better to take the glass out while it was in there, but I think I'll still be able to weld these doors up with the glass in. I just have to put a fire blanket over it, and still I'm going to try to get my piece of copper up in there to weld them holes shut. But right now I was taking off that door seal because I found some door seals while back, but I don't know if they're the door seals to this because they were what came with the car, and I found the box and I got to looking at them, and I think they're the right door seals. But if not, you can still get door seals for these things. You just got to go to amclives.com and call them or get on their website and order stuff off their website, whatever you got to do. So you can get door seals and window gaskets and stuff like that. I don't know if you could get the vent mirror on the doors. Sometimes I've seen them before. Somebody else had them for a while, but they only made a limited run or something like that. But they were astronomical. They were like $500, so I can't afford that. Some new door seals, so the door will seal, so when you drive down the highway, it's not blowing in wind and stuff like that. That's still available. They're not too expensive. They're $100 and something. I believe they're like $130, $140 on AMC Lives. So that is a shout out to AMC Lives, not a sponsor. Have ordered from them before. They're all right guys and have no problem with them. So you could check them out. But I want to take this seal off the door, so I want to give you guys kind of a shot of how I'm doing that, and then we can get the door up here and get holes welded shut. But also I still haven't done that seam on the other side. I did get a hole cut in there and got that spread out kind of where I want it, and we'll do some more work on that. So let's get to it. Okay, so we get I started it off up at the top because I couldn't tell if that was a screw or a rivet, but we got that out, and then we pop there, and you go like this, and you just gently work your way around. And especially if this was like a old rubber that you had to save or whatever, this would be something that you would want to do very gently. But since we can get these, we just want to get it out of there and not do damage to the metal. We don't want to leave any clips. So, and this is going to be the fun with filming, is I'm going to have to go back and forth. So let me run to the other side real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got this seal coming off around, and this side I'm going to start on this side and just kind of meet down at the bottom in the middle. Gotta get around. I should have took that off. There's like a door alignment shim over here. See if we can get that metal. Yeah. Alright, that popped out from behind there. Now, I know I got the door laying on the floor, but I still got to sand it and do a little body work on it, so it's not going to hurt it to just sit there for a minute. While I get these little plastic clips off. This door stand I made is pretty strong because it's holding my fat butt. I did that video, a couple videos again. ago. I said videos again. A couple videos ago. So, all right, we got this off, and we're just going to pitch that and get rid of it. So now we have the bottom of the door cleaned off and everything where those were at. Everything looks super clean. So now we're still going to have some, like this door is only going to get painted up to where that weather strip was at. So we'll be able to tape off all of our golden stuff and get that part done. So let me get back around the other side real quick. Okay, so now I got that weather stripping off. You know, I mean, it's pretty bad. You can look, and that's really bad. But now we're gonna take and lay this out anyways. We can still lay it out. It's still connected, and we will see how it compares to the new one that we got. But for now, we're just going to set it aside because that box got put up again. So anyways, let's take and see if we can get moved here. Whoops. Everything's flopping around. Y'all went upside down, crooked, and every which way. Let's tighten them up a little bit. All right. So now we'll see if we can get this door kind of stood back up. All right. Remember, leverage is your friend. Leverage is your friend, and gravity is not. Come on. Stay there, stay there, stay there. You know what I wanted to do and I didn't do? I didn't take them door handles off while it was laying down. That was an Allen screw, I believe. Let me find my Allens. I'll go find my Allen. Pause time. Okay, so I don't know how many of y'all keep your Allens in an old antique bread box, but it even got the vent on the back. Now, it was never meant to be an Allen box. It was meant to be a bread box. But somehow it became an Allen box because the top got smashed in and a bunch of stuff. So don't let this offend nobody. It's still getting put to good use. I've had it for 15 years and I will keep using it. Now let's see if we can find one that's close to that size. I think that's too small. That looks about right. Let's see how good we are at guessing here. All right. That wasn't the right one, but we was close. This is just a little bit big, so we need to go just a little bit smaller. Okay, so that one's it. Probably was better off leaving that down. But alright, that came out fairly simple. Now, watch, see if I can show y'all. What I'm doing is I'm taking these. Oh, come on, come on. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so now those are off. Slide over here. Back in there. You gonna stay for a minute? Okay. All right, turn around and put my good leg down so I help hold my balance. Let's see if we can pick this up. You gonna get up there or what? Where you at? Stay for a minute. Stay for a minute. I want to grab that glass, break that glass. You don't want to stay up there, do you? We need something to hold it. You gonna stay there? Don't fall off. We can at least look and see how secure that is. Oh. Okay, so I see the problem. Problem is where I stuck that upper rod is right where the window winder regulator knob was sticking out is right there. So that means I need to mark where that's at and cut that. So let me find a Sharpie. Okay, so I got that marked with the Sharpie. I can see back there where it's in the way. But I could just run something around there to hold it in place, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. I could just leave it there. It's not going to go nowhere. But I would feel better. This is just not up there enough. I mean, it needs to be that much more. And I would feel better if it was. So that means taking the door back off of this thing. So, bad thing is I ate a piece of sausage. Now I got indigestion. I keep belching and hiccuping and got heartburn. And exerting yourself, it doesn't help. So let's see if we can do this. Okay. So now what we need to do is slide this back. Oh, it's going to take paint off the bottom of the door, but I'm going to paint it anyway. I hate doing this, but it's easy enough for me to do this. Okay, all of this to get this thing made and fit to where I can use it for this project, which, you know, these holes here would be fine welding it here, but these holes down here, I would like for it up here on this stand. I made this stand to use, so I want to use it. Now all I got to do is notch that out right there. And then any other door that we have to deal with later on, and we could just whack it off right there But then when we go to do the other side, it's going to be facing the opposite direction. So what I should have done was I should have had this down here, but then on the next door, is it going to be in the way? So what's your solution? Well, your solution is notch this out. So I'll probably do that pretty easy enough. Get me a freaking cut-off wheel without hitting doors or car. So, all right, I got this. Now I'm getting to get power. All right. So now we got some power out of our drop cord. Now, could have basically just get a V-notch in this thing. That's going to throw sparks at me. That's going to throw sparks away from me. I'd rather throw sparks down. But in order to throw sparks down, I got to take my Sharpie that I lost my, give me some marks here. So, all right. Boy, this thing just in the wrong spot. I'll turn it like this. Just do it like this. All right. There's that one. I'll turn it the other way. Get this. Don't set your pants on fire. And find a pair of pliers or a claw hammer. Best tool ever invented. Sometimes you just need one. Just like the, whoop. And then at that, this is a says safety shape, but it's an east wing, and I can't remember where I got it, when I got it. I believe that I got it from my grandfather or my dad, but my dad really hated east wings. Yeah, I know he had a couple back in the day, but I believe it came from my granddad. But they always used plums. I don't know. But anyways, it's probably a 50, 60-year-old hammer, and it works awesome. The head is nice and round and smooth, so that hammer will always be there and never go away. All right, let's switch this over. Something to lean on here. Stay there for a minute. Alright, so now maybe we could get our door back up in there and find our notch. Now, it'll be okay. You'll be okay. I don't know why I want to lock my chair for. much. Like that. Now, stay there so I'll find the hole. You get, put us that small of a notch in there. You got to find the right spot for it. Okay. Well, she still wants to push out a little bit, but I'm going to call that good. Because now, at least I can get right here and weld those holes up. Even those. But I really... dang it, excuse me. I need the fire blanket. Let me get this stuff paused for a minute. Okay, here's your little trick. Get you a chainsaw file. And go through, and the holes that you want to clean or you want to weld, you go like this. And you get the paint out of it. But you get all the paint worked out of them holes, and then you can weld them. These ones up here, you just got to be a little bit more careful. More careful, be a little bit careful, be a little bit more. I don't speak English very well, but get them all cleaned out, and if you have to, you can use a die grinder as well. Which I might have to use on these ones because that glass is in the way, but there's also that trim's in the way. But I can get all these cleaned up, and then we can get to welding on them. Okay, I got the die grinder and the angle die grinder with a Scotch-Brite pad on there, twist lock. So, since I got my air over here, I can do all this that I need to do. I still got to get this little divot out, which we can clean that up and get the stud gun, but I'm not going to worry about sanding these smooth. I'm just going to weld them in, and then we'll address them later as we're sanding and prepping the doors. I got to make me a couple door stands, or I got to go buy a door stand. This is fine for doing this, but for body work and stuff like that, I want it laying flat so I can see that angle and stuff. I suppose I could make this to where it stands up in the end, but then it would be like this high, which is too high. I want to be able to have something that's more like right here level that I can slide my legs underneath. But we'll get these cleaned up real quick. See, whoops, I got that one. Now when you use a die grinder, be real easy, because you're just wanting to take the paint out. Now that's going to get turned on. I'm gonna try to find my piece of copper. We're gonna let that build. We'll be right back. Okay, so I couldn't find my, whoops, I guess I sat there. I couldn't find my piece of copper. But what I got's a piece of copper pipe. So what I did was, I made a big old slit in it with the grinder. Cut it about that way around. I'll open this up and flatten it out. And that way we'll be able to stick it down into places. I'll be able to fold this down, but it'll give me a nice handle here. And we'll be able to reach back in behind in spots and be able to weld our holes shut. So let me finish fixing this. Okay, so what I did was I smashed all that down. So this is just a piece of old copper pipe out of the house that got fixed here a while back out at my mother-in-law's farm. And she said, "You want that copper?" I said, "Sure." It's like 8 or 9 feet of copper and some ends and stuff like that. So I'll use it or I'll recycle it, one of the two. But now we can take this, and if we have to, we can bend it or do what we want. You just got to be careful and not bend it in too many spots. But at least we can get that back up in here, you know, behind like this, and then we can weld our holes shut. So let's weld a couple up. Let's weld a couple up, but let's get our blanket in place and get our welder turned on and all that. Okay, so get unhung there. Now we're all ready to get this started to weld. I gotta remember, don't weld that one, don't weld that one, but weld that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Weld all those up. Doesn't help that we're starting off with the wire out of whack. All right. So put a piece of copper back here. Ground's on the door. Now, the whole idea of that copper is that it will not, the weld won't stick to it, and that way you'll have a nice flat. You'll have a nice flat back to the weld. And now on this one, I'll be able to go back there and I'll tack it from the other side too and clean it up. One more little spot. It's filled. It's filled on the back side. There's just a little divot here in the front. I could fill that with filler, but I don't want to. So now the next one's going to be a little bit more complicated because we got to get up in there. Now, might have to figure out how to hold it up in there, or we'll just have to turn. We have to turn. Okay. Alright, I can get the rest of these welded up real quick. There ain't no need for y'all to sit here and watch me do them all. Okay, now I got all those. I went ahead and welded all them up and stuff. Let's turn this a little bit so you can see it. But now that I got all these welded up and ready to go, we'll sand them down. Okay, so what I went ahead and switched out for a floppy disc, and some of these are a little tall. Now we're gonna have to switch back and forth, sand a little bit, you know, like hit it and then hit with air, because this will still make it hot. But kind of show you what I got going here is I hit it, I get some marks on there so I can see where I'm hitting at. You want to keep that flat as possible. Like there's a taper to some of these, so keep it as flat as possible. And then you can, like, now you can see the scratches go this way, and then you can go back this way and make sure that you just hit your high spots. Now I did hit the door a little bit right there, but that's okay. You're going to do that. Then make sure you just don't get no heat in it. Like, see, it's starting to get a little heat in there already. So you just swap over to that. It don't take much when it's 55 degrees in the shop, because I never really did turn the heat on. Well, I did, but then I turned it off because I started filming and stuff. And it's dropped back down to where it's, it says 56 degrees. So now I got that down enough to where I can put a little flappy disc on there and do a little bit better, get a little bit, you know, nicer grind to that. I don't want to take too much off with this, because this is like a 36 grit or 40 grit, so it's really aggressive. And that stupid air compressor, I'm going to put it out there, I swear I am. It drives me nuts. Okay, that air compressor is giving me a headache, but it just constantly runs when I'm doing stuff like this. I mean, it keeps up, but it doesn't keep up. Like, it's down to 100 PSI. It was at 155. So I have it regulated to 100. So when it got down to actually about 90, and you can feel the die grinder, you can feel the rotation dropping, or if you put any pressure on it and it starts to slow it, you can tell when the air compressor is getting, you know, to where it needs to take a break and build back up. So I didn't let it build back up because I was using it quite a bit to get this done, and the head's a little hot. I need to change the oil in it again. I need to drain it and all that. But y'all know how it goes when you're in your shop. You just let things go to the wayside. But what I wanted to show you is I did get this door. Dropped you again. This tripod thing is just weak. It wants to fall. Like, okay. So you can see where I was sanding at. So let's show you. So, like, you know, open hole. There you go. Open hole unwelded. I mean, open hole welded, so you can see that it's brought up. Then I'll sand it down. I get it to about like yay. Get the hump off of it. Then we get it down a little bit more. So I left these in stages because I'm kind of working on them as I go back and forth. So then we sand down a little bit more, and then we get to where you're nice and smooth, like that one and that one. Now this one, if you can see right there, I got a little spot in the middle, so I need to do a little tack there. And then that one turned out really well. So that will definitely hide with some filler and what have you. So this silly thing, I'll hold you like this. But anyways, and then we got these tops all welded up, and we need to finish sanding them. So that's kind of, I guess where I'm going to continue doing that and then get the other door done and then finish these rockers, because I haven't done nothing for 5 days. And 5 days ago, I said I was going to do all this stuff. Or no, 4 days ago, I guess I said I was going to do all this stuff. But I got busy with the cold and everything else and the snow and, you know, just dealing with stuff. You know, life is life, guys. You just got to take it easy. But I think this is where we're going to end the video. I'm going to go in. I'm going to take a break for a minute. Then I'm going to come back out. I'll sand some more on this door and get it done up. But I do want to get some door stands or whatever, you know, that you lay out and put glass on or doors on or hood on or whatever, body stands, or just the ones you fold up. I mean, I do have a pipe bender. I can make my own. Just have to get some pipe. And then I do have some pool noodles or something that I can stick on it. But, you know, sometimes they go on sale at Harbor Freight cheap enough. You just buy a few and then you're not out to steal and stuff. But I do think I have some fence post rails, you know, the stiles and rails that you got for chain link. I have some, like the top rail, I guess is what you call it, or line posts. I have some that size. You can fill them with sand, tape the ends, and you can bend them in your pipe bender. But anyways, I'm going to go inside, take a little break for a minute. It's like 2 o'clock. I've been out here since 11, and my back is killing me, picking up this door and doing all that. So I'll take a break for a minute, and then I'll be back out here, and I'll get the rest of this door sanded down, and I get the other one up there welded and sanded down, and then I'll be ready to start sanding more on them to get them painted and do some body filler, like I said. I want to paint the door jambs in the back of the car and the top of the car first, and then have the doors setting off to the side and the fender setting off to the side, and then get it all back together. Or no, then I want to do the door jambs. I mean, like, not the door jambs, but the edges of the doors and the back and, you know, around the side, so then I can lay them up and lay them flat and or put them back. Actually, you know, I'm just kind of at a loss how to paint this thing. I think the best thing to do, is to go ahead and, let's get this set up here a little bit. I think the best thing to do is go ahead and paint this part here, and then all the door jambs, the back dash, and the top, and then we'll paint the inside, like the inside and around the door, and then we'll put them all back on, and then we can paint them on the car again, or do another, you know, let it dry for a few days or whatever, so you don't reactivate the paint. I'm going to have to do this in stages. I can't do this all in one day, which I wish I could, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I think I'm going to have to paint what's here first, get this all done, then paint the doors and the fenders and get them back on, and then paint the hood and the trunk lid. Dang it, I got indigestion so bad. But then paint the hood and the trunk lid, and get the hood and the trunk lid back on. And then when the car's all back together like that, tape off the inner seams and just sand down the whole outside of the car with some 600 grit or something, and paint the whole car at one time, the white part. So like have the top all done, get all the gold done and stuff, and then tape all that off, and then paint the whole car as a whole on the outside like an overspray. But we can tape the inside of our door jambs and stuff so paint don't get into there and what have you. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do this. So kind of with my ability and the way I'm going to have to do things, I think that's kind of how it's going to have to be. But anyways, guys, I think, like I said, I think we're going to call that for this video. We're already at 40-some minutes on this video, I'm sure. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. I'm going to, like I said, take a break, and then I'm going to get back on this. And then we'll see y'all next time. So we're a little crooked right now. Anywho, bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.